Hey, crypto family. So I know everyone's not excited about this recent downtrend that we've had. I'm going to talk about the couple reasons why this happened and where we're going from here. So as you can see, Bitcoin is at $7,302. It's down 0.39%. Most of the altcoins took the harder hit. You can see Ethereum down 5%, Ripple down 6.5%. This will probably hit the hardest. And then Bitcoin Cash and EOS down about 3.5%, 4%. But then you see Stellar here is up 10%. So I'm going to go over that on why it's up so much after I go over the reasons for the downturn. So actually, if you look at Bitcoin right now, we just had a recent spike and you can see the price is $7,362. So don't be afraid to buy the dip whenever you see it fall below these support lines that are drawn, because a lot of the time, these downturns are just FUD, but they're also combined with different technical indicators. So one of the technical indicators that was brought to my attention actually by M_Pavlovsky. He's a good friend of mine. Definitely give him a follow if you haven't. But one of the big things that people need to watch are the moving averages. So again, you have the 50, 128, 200. I mean, you have all types of different ones. But specifically, the 128-day moving average. So right now on the 4-hour chart, you can see it's all the way down here. But if you scroll to the daily chart, that's actually where you can see that it hit that resistance up here and then it came down. So Bitcoin went to a high of $7,600 today, and that moving average, it's just about where it intersects. You can see it right there. So I'll probably need to change the color. Blue's kind of hard to see. See if I can change that real quick for you. But yeah, as you can see, it's as you can see here, see it just came just right below that, and that's something that Matt pointed out to me. Was, this was probably the start of the downturn. And then there's this tweet here that happened at the exact same time as we really started falling. And it says, it's by Colin Wilhelm. And this guy works closely with a lot of the committees in the House Financial Services. And he said, quote, "We should prohibit U.S. persons from buying or mining cryptocurrencies." And that was said by Representative Brad Sherman, a senior Democrat on the House Financial Services Committee. So this guy Colin was actually at this meeting, and he quoted this guy Rep. Brad Sherman of this. And you can see here is at 1:15 p.m. And then I'll go ahead and go to my chart and actually go to the 15-minute chart. And you can see 1:15 p.m. is right here. So you can see exactly when it started the downturn. So again, it hit that moving average, 128 on the daily, went down, and then right at 115 when that tweet was put out, that created a lot of FUD, and we just started this downturn here. So I think this tweet had a big part of it. There's a lot of FUD spread around, and that's what I think it is, because if you look at this guy here, Brad Sherman, I'll go to Matt's Twitter here, and it's M_Pavlovsky for those who want to give him a follow. But basically he retweeted something by the Crypto Dog, and this is regarding that Democrat Brad Sherman. It says, "Brad Sherman was so concerned about crypto users using cryptocurrency for deceptive and illegal financial activity, yet his top campaign donation came from a company that had to forfeit $13.3 million to the US government for facilitating illegal gambling." So again, you have a guy that's getting donations from companies that are facilitating illegal gambling, yet this guy is denouncing cryptocurrencies. So he needs to really be focused on what's going on in his circle before looking at what's going on with cryptos. So again, this guy definitely has a lot of bad stuff about him. So that's why, this was just FUD. And that's why you can see, Bitcoin went all the way down. We'll go back to the 4-hour chart so you can see. But Bitcoin went to a low on this downturn of 72.30. And a lot of people were buying this dip here because they saw this as FUD. Now, it could very well go below this. But again, you have this strong support here at about 72, or actually, no, we'll say about 7,300. Around that level, there is some support here. Now, just keep that in mind whenever you are hedging your bets. Set your stops accordingly. And it's not financial advice, just my opinion. But when you're looking at how much lower Bitcoin can go, if it will go lower, just look at these support levels and look at the fundamentals and the technicals as to what is causing this. So the RSI, it's cooling down a little bit. It was way overbought here at about 90 for a couple hours. And, luckily it's cooled down a bit. So it could very well have another rally up to 76 to 7,800 and even above that. Because I know I mentioned in my last stream, 7,800 was, as you can see here, this is the next big resistance, because you can see that when it came up to this level, it tried to bounce it not 1, 2, but about 4 times it tried to break above this $7,800 level, and it couldn't. So again, that's the first one we're looking at, 78 to 8,000. And then once we pass that, then we'll look at about 86 to 8,800 is the next support, next resistance levels. So keep that in mind. But yeah, that's the reason right now. I think the big reason why Bitcoin has fallen like it has is just combination of technicals with those articles, with that that FUD coming out about, you know, wanting to ban mining and cryptocurrency. So don't fall for it. Again, it's just people just trying to get cheap cryptocurrencies and scare a lot of people away because they're a threat to banks and they don't want to see that. So something to keep in mind. But I did mention why Stellar is up 10%. And this article came out 19 hours ago, and it says Stellar becomes the first Sharia certified blockchain for payments and asset tokenization. So what's that mean? Well, it says Stellar, an open source platform for distributed payments, is reportedly the first distributed ledger protocol to obtain Sharia compliant certification in the money transfer and asset tokenization field, according to Stellar blog post published July 17th. Now, basically, Sharia law, it's what's followed by, you know, all Muslims. And as you know, there are millions of Muslims in the world. So basically, if stuff is deemed halal, which is permissible in Sharia law, then that means it's okay for Muslims to participate in it. And as you remember, recently, Bitcoin was labeled permissible under Sharia law in April. And now you have Stellar being labeled as halal by the Sharia Review Bureau. So this is huge. And basically what they did, they looked at, you know, the ecosystem of Stellar and how it operates. And they said, ostensibly, they'll be able to enhance its ecosystem in regions where operations in the field of financial services requires compliance with Islamic financing principles. And basically, it'll allow them to deal with Stellar. So allow them to implement that in their everyday lives and basically in all their tasks that they do. So this is big news because that is a lot of people. You know, if Muslims, you know, if they gave the go-ahead to use Stellar and they label it halal, then there's millions and millions of people who will be able to use Stellar and that will buy it. So again, you have this coming, you know, as a positive for Stellar. You also have Coinbase announcing they may list Stellar. And so again, there's a lot of positive news around Stellar right now. And you can see, I mean, it's up 10% when everything was down. You know, almost everything was in the red besides a couple of coins. So that's some good news. So again, hopefully you're holding some Stellar. If not, just know, you know, this is the reason for the rise and maybe look for getting some on a pullback. But with that, that's pretty much all I had for today. Again, you know, don't let this scare you. There's always FUD going around and stuff. Just, it's the way the market moves. Just, you know, take profits when you can, try to buy at low prices, and just preserve your capital as much as you can. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you liked the video, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't. And please share this video. It really helps spread. So with that, till next time, thanks for watching.